and I mean, we always can change it down the line if we need to or want to. But yeah, I think it should be fine to start it like this. So yeah, okay, and then let's. Sorry, that sweat droplet. It speaks to me for some reason. It's just like it's so overt. It's so like in your face. It's just like it cracks me up. I'm sorry. I'm just an idiot for some reason. Um, I just want to see it come up with like a different position than like dead center or like that. Okay, so now it's dead center. I meant like I want to see it come up with a slightly different position than like how it was like off like it like for the first two rounds it was like pointed exactly like here and like that seemed weird to me. Um, let's I'm gonna actually like so it's actually Excelsior. Can I conclude the event? Oh no, I can't. Oh gosh, what is that doing? I don't know what that's doing. What if I do activate archery? Oh good, I can just reset it. Why does it keep aiming like it keeps aiming like right here? Like what is it with that? Why does it keep doing that? I'm gonna just supremely abbreviate the Tableau durations so that way I can check that it's getting a good like variation going on. Because I might need to just like I might just need to expand the range or like shrink the range or do something, but I can't like it's going so slow that I can't really tell. So it's archery Tableau durations. So yeah, so let's put this down to just like 5 seconds each. So we won't get to see the whole the tableau with the bead of sweat. And let's put this one down to 5 too. So it's gonna look weird because they're like a lot of the tableaus they won't play out fully. They'll just only start to play out and then not. Um, I didn't miss your question by the way, Taylor, aka I just don't answer questions. I just try not to answer questions that are actually in the frequently asked questions section because if you just read the frequently asked question section, you'd have all the information you need. All right, that one's very like center E. Um, you know, I might want to change the target to not be like so concentric circles, because like players could actually like without the RNG factor, players could actually just learn like which position uh, is like which corresponds to like which range. I mean, one thing I could do is I could increase the extent to which like the bow waves around a little bit, and that would because that's kind of like a level of RNG kind of. Um, yeah, I definitely need to increase that value because like there's well okay so I need to do something because like for some reason that value it doesn't seem to be affecting much difference in like these it doesn't seem there doesn't seem to be like much like going on in the way of variation, and it seems to always be varied to like the same direction. Like it never seems to be varied to the other direction, which could just be like really weird dice rolls that we're getting. But like I don't trust it, so I want to change that. I think let's try putting that value back up to like 100 or something. What is it? It was like aim with. So let's try putting it up to 100 just to see what that does. So let's restart that. Um, so activate archery. Uh, so that's like dead center. Great. um, that can happen. I think I'm thinking like maybe it's actually like rounding to an integer too soon, because like it just seems to be like very like clicky. It doesn't seem to be like having much like of a range. It seems to be like okay, well, so it can choose a number like below the bullseye, which is good, I guess. Um, and then what? I could just do the math. I could just look at the numbers and like do the math. I don't know. It still doesn't seem to come up with much variety. Um, so yeah, I don't know. Um, let's wait. This should be no. This should be fine. Hypothetically, uh, hypothetically this should work. But it's yeah. It just seems to be all right. Let's okay. Wait, it's the so like the how about the times 3 minus 0.5. What if it was times 3.0? Is this what's throwing it off? Is it like turning it into a float to, or is it turning into an integer here when we do times 3? I don't think that would necessarily be the case, but I don't know. I just, like, multiplying with integers is, like, dumb. Like, the outcome is almost always dumb. Okay, so this is, like, I don't know. This looks somewhat different than before. That could be good. I think I do want to add, like, more waver, more like bounce to the bow. Because that kind of adds RNG without adding RNG, kind of. It means it makes it a little bit trickier. Or again, he keeps choosing like these shots keep going like dead center, like right at the bullseye, and like what the crap? What the crap is up with that? I don't get it. I don't understand. All right, so I still need to do the weakly waving flag, like the flag that's just like getting like flickered by the breeze ever so slightly. Why is he always? Why he's like always so? Maybe 100 isn't enough. Maybe it has to be like a bigger number. That seems crazy though. Making that number higher than 100? I mean, like, sure, why not? Aim. Let's say aim to like 300. Like, this should be ridiculous. This should be like he should be able to like shoot like off screen basically. With like this number as high as this. This should be like disturbingly off. Like he should be way further off than that. Activate archery. Apparently I can just like reset archery by just hitting activate archery while activate archery is going. No, I can't. Oh, I thought I could. It seemed like it worked the first time I did that, but I guess not. Okay. Maybe I hit it like exactly when it was transitioning back to the start of the whatever. Oh no, maybe it's because I had hit conclude event or something. Conclude event. Activate archery. No. It doesn't work. Alright, fine. Well, whatever. We'll let it play out. I have the freaking aim cranked through the roof, and, like, it's still mostly on target. Like, how does that work? That does not make any sense whatsoever. That's so dumb. Why would it do that? Aim width times ng message index 5, index 0, index I. That makes no sense. Alright. We're putting it to, like, negative 300. This should, like, make things go idiotic. Like, the bow shouldn't even be on screen, basically. Let's see what that does, though. Let's see what it actually does, because I don't trust it to do the correct thing at this point. Yeah, okay, well, so that's, like, kind of more what I was expecting. I mean, that's... Okay, so it's at least using the value, right? It's not completely ignoring the value. But, like, it should be way further than that. It should be, like, way further than that. Like, we're talking, like, 300 times, potentially, like, 2.5. Like, it shouldn't be so consistent in where it's, like... Alright, whatever. I don't understand what the heck is happening right now, but, like, I'm just gonna go with it, I guess. So... Wait, so the 3.0... minus 1 point... Or minus 0.5 thing... Random.random times 3.0 minus 0.5. Random.random times 3.0 minus 0.5. Random.random goes anywhere from 0 to 1. So random.random times 3 goes anywhere from 0 to 3. Minus 0.5, or like minus 0.5 doesn't even matter. With aim set at 300, this is a range of 900 pixels. 900 pixels is like basically half the screen. Like this is ridiculously dumb. Like with it set at 300. Math. Get your freaking act together, you stupid math. I'm supremely disappointed in you. I'm sorry. I've lost my patience with mathematics. Mathematics, you had one job, and apparently that was way too difficult for you. I'm so disappointed. Alright, so I'm just gonna put this like 300,000 or whatever. this is again, the bow should just be like completely off in space, because there's no way that like, well, so the thing that like I'm concerned about is that it seems to be like the polarity seemed to affect it. Okay, so the bow is literally gone. So something like ridiculous is happening, and this math is just like turbo stupid, but at least it works, and it like it's turbo stupid and it works. So I guess that's better than nothing, but like a range of 3,000 is like, okay, so it's still, the bow's still missing, so that's good. So is that 300 actually was working and we were just getting like really stupid roll values? I mean, I think actually we can look in the in this see what our roll values actually are. So activate archery. So the bow is way off, so that's good. Okay, so with 300 the bow can be way off. Okay, it just wasn't turning out to be way off most of the time. So if we put it back down to 100, is this one of those things where like I change nothing and then magically it gets fixed by itself somehow? Like, is it going to be one of those situations? Because I don't like those situations. Maybe I wasn't clear about that last time those situations come up, but I don't enjoy that. Alright, so that's a good amount of like unhealthy, like you're definitely not aiming at the target there, buddy. You might want to aim at the target. So yeah, I don't know, that could be good, I guess. I do want to make sure that he can aim like on either side of the target too, like with equal distance too. So like so what are the values that are coming through here? Like event status, index 1, you can aim left or right. So the values that came through here were 1.85. Okay, so for the last one, which was probably passed already, it should be negative, and it is. Okay, that's good. Oh wait, 0.74 should have been negative, or should have been to the left, because like anything less than 1 should have been to the left, but that definitely was not to the left. That was definitely to the right. So yeah, so it's not centered. Like centered values are not centering correctly. Because the center is 1 in this case. Yeah, okay. So let's so for testing purposes, let's so aim width, blah blah. Let's put this as 1 for starters. And see. Oh right, no. If this was centered back when it was at 0, then this is going to be centered at Oh yeah, no. This should be this should be times wait. So yeah, so this should be ng message minus 465 minus aim width or something, or like actually no, maybe we should just do ng message minus 1. Like we should just subtract the 1 here. Yeah. And this should be better. But then I guess apparently we can go higher than 100, which seems wrong, but apparently we can do that. So let's go to 150. See how this goes. I still don't understand why I can go so high with these numbers. Like 100, maybe 150 just isn't as many pixels as I... Yeah, no, maybe it's just... Yeah, okay, no, I guess that could be right at this point. So that must have just been a relatively low number. What number was that? That was 0.5. Okay, so that's fair, I guess. Because 0.5 would be off by a third of the maximum offness. So the next one is 0.61. Wait a second. Yeah, okay. So that would be right, that was a little less off. And 0.9. Wow, it's just giving us really boring numbers, I think, is part of the problem. Like it just gives us really boring numbers. Like it rarely gives us like the extreme numbers. So I'm just gonna test for the extreme numbers real quick. Yeah, right. So that one's almost a bullseye, and that one's supposed to be almost a bullseye. But it was like almost a bullseye with wind, so yeah. Okay. Sure, this seems fine, mostly. Let me just test the extreme values real quick. So aim width. So let's just send it through as, what if this came through as as 0. That's one of the extreme values, right? Or no, no, excuse me, negative 0.5 is one of the extreme values. So what would that look like? It should be off by 150 pixels. Okay, that's pretty far off. We wouldn't want it to go much further off than that, so excuse me, that's probably fine. That's probably fine. I might bump it up a little bit further. I might bump it up to like 175, because it's also rare that we'll actually get like the literal extrema. It's more common that we'll get like numbers close to the extreme, but like, yeah, the actual extreme doesn't actually come up that much. So I'll bump this up to 175 and call that good, I guess. It's weird that like previously, I swear 100 was like, I don't know, whatever. I don't care. So good. We'll call that good and stop caring about it. And then, oh right, so we do still need to do the other flag animation, because we have the flag like going in one direction, we have the flag going in the other direction. We don't have the weak flag going on. So yeah, about that. I guess like the first thing that we'll want to do is to maybe I won't animate it. Maybe it will just be a single frame. The flag will literally just be like hanging still. Because like if I make it like flutter at all, it could imply like wind in like some direction, like even like a slight wind. No, I'll just make it hang like very much down directly in front of the flagpole, and then it'll like flicker a little bit, and but it'll like flicker like ambiguously left or right. Like it's not really clear if it's like, yeah, it will be flapping like, yeah, basically symmetrically, I guess, so that it can't be like, I just don't want it to like look like it's supposed to be like a slight leftward wind or a slight rightward wind, because it's supposed to represent no wind at all. So okay, let's do that. So for starters, we'll just take the flag post, and oh yeah, well actually for starters, let's close these, and then we can why did we have this open? I forget where I had that open. But for starters, we can just aim flag, right, so none, let's just get rid of this, and just copy this here, and call this none, and then we can just, right, so edit these, and so which order do they go in? Yeah, because whenever I open it through the file system, they get in like a weird order, but that's right, okay. And then, right, so let's just basically get rid of the flag part of the flag, and then let's just slide this to the center. It doesn't have to be the exact center, but just like roughly centered. Oh, if the flag is hanging down, I guess it'll hang off screen, which is fine. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so deselect. Just cleaning up these sharp edges, and then so it'll basically, whoops, not clone stamp tool. I'm gonna use a separate layer just to not sampling from layer, sampling from image. You jerk. So yeah, so the flag will just be like laying flat, right? It'll just be like, there'll be like some wrinkle and like fold to it, but it'll just be laying like mostly flat. Actually, maybe I will have it lay off to like one side, because like, I don't know, if you see this flag first, like we do still want it to be clear that this is a flag. Like we just, like if this is the first flag that you ever see in the game, like we don't want it to be like confusing as to what it is that you're seeing here. So yeah, there's that factor to consider. But then like what if there's any animation to it, maybe there just isn't any animation to it. Maybe like, well no, I talked about that, and like usually that's like the most animated element on the screen, and so to have it not animated at all, that's like a little weird. maybe there shouldn't be, maybe there shouldn't ever be no wind. Maybe there should always just be, yeah, maybe there should just be like wind or half wind. Um, because I mean we're using floats now, so as long as we stay in the range of like, as long as we stay in the range of negative zero point 0.5 to 2.5, then it'll always round correctly. So yeah, we can just come up with different values for the wind, I guess. And yeah, uh, yeah, I'm just like not enthusiastic about having like literally zero wins. Like it just I like gameplay wise, like sure, great, that's fine. That actually works very well. But like if visually speaking, it just like it doesn't feel right to have like literally no wind going on. So, yeah. As much as I was not enthusiastic about drawing more wind animation, I think it'll actually like come out with the better product, the better like finished result. So, uh, yeah, I guess I'm gonna cheat the flag post up a little bit. So when there's less wind, the flag post gets taller for some reason. Just because like when the oh wrong layer when the flag post when the flag isn't like flapping as hard, it's going to be flapping like at a more of a downward angle. So either the flag will extend off screen, or we have to lift the flagpole a little bit, or both. But it'll just be like slightly. And I think kind of like how we cheat the position of the flagpole, and it doesn't really matter. We can just cheat the height of the flagpole, and it doesn't really matter either. I think. That's my hope, anyways. Oh yeah, I'm gonna so copy this file. Oh yeah, and so it probably won't be dead center anymore. It'll probably be like off to the side. But I'm gonna oops, wrong layer again. I'm gonna copy this to a separate file just so I don't have to redraw this again more times. Okay, so let's shift this arbitrarily in this direction, and we can start with actually I don't need a separate layer anymore. We can start with the flag going in this direction. So let's bump up the flag width again. So yeah, what is this? It's just gonna be like a very tame version of like the other animation, kind of. Just gonna come down like so. I will want to make sure that this one doesn't, kind of like how I didn't want the other one to look too weak, I don't want this one to look too strong, because like I definitely don't want this to be mistaken for like a strong wind, right? So yeah, I like this. The more I think about it, I think this will make more for more like this doesn't complicate gameplay, but it because it's the same like you're still grokking the same information as like when the flag is like whipping fast, but it adds like a little more to think about with gameplay. Like it adds it's not just like left right, but it's like left and strength, and that's like another way to think about like what you're seeing on the screen in terms of so this is supposed to look like the same flag. So like right now this doesn't look like the same flag. This looks like a smaller flag. So I'll want to I might need to cheat it a little bit further just to make sure that it has like room to flap, because also right, this is like, so it works okay for this one frame of animation, but is it going to still work for like the other frames of animation? Like I feel like eventually it's just not going to fit in the frame. So let's actually, yeah, let's move it again. So we'll move it up an additional like 8 or like 10 pixels. Yeah, that should be fine. Yeah, let's move this up an additional 10 pixels as well, because we'll want to do it for all these things. And let's draw in the bottom part once more. Actually, I should have done the darker side first, because it's not as thick, and I'll have to go over it again with this anyways. So, okay. Uh, so, just for consistency, I'm just gonna keep it literally the same image. Okay. Okay. And then, yeah, alright, so this should be good. And then, so let's copy, paste. Excuse me. Thought I was gonna sneeze, but no, I'm good. I'm good. I'm okay. This looks like it's up a bit high now. Like, this looks like it might be up a little bit too high. I might want to try and bring it down if I can. We'll see. Okay, so actually, yeah, let's zoom in also so we can take a better... Oh, wait a second. I shouldn't be doing it in this direction. I should be doing the other direction first. Because, the image... This isn't the right image width. This is going to put the stick, like, too close to the edge, I think. Maybe? Yeah, let's do the other side first. Oh, right, and yeah, we have to go back to the script and change everything again. Oh, wait. No, we can't just flip it, because it'll flip the shadow. Alright, hold on. File, open, right. 0. This is with the 396. Actually, no, you know what? No, yeah, no, I am gonna do the other side first. Because no particular reason. I just am. Just because. Okay, so yeah, let's put this over on the other side. No, it's because it occurred to me like there's a slight bend to the flag post in the wind. Like if you look at this flag post, it's bent slightly in the way that the wind is blowing, and if you look at this flag post, it's bent slightly in the other way, and so technically, like this flag post should correspond to the wind blowing to the left. So yeah, so it will. Okay, so right, so our first frame of animation, it'll basically be the same. It's not like I put a ton of work into the first one. So it'll be like, I don't know, it'll be like something like this, I guess. Oops, can't go to the edge of the screen. And I should actually I should keep a fair breadth of the edge of the screen. Actually, no, that's not true. It can actually flit off the bottom of the screen. There's no problem if it flits off the bottom of the screen. I want to keep it on screen to the extent that I can, but like if it goes off the bottom of the screen, that's actually fine. Because like that only reinforces the fact that the wind is not especially strong right now. So I think that's actually totally legit. And so I can cheat the height back down a little bit. I don't have to cheat the height up quite as high anymore. I can just have it, yeah, I can just have it extend a little bit off the bottom of the screen. That's actually fine. It didn't look so weird to have the height up so high until it got to a certain height, and then it was just like, that's not good. That's not, I don't like that. So yeah, okay. So yeah, so let's use this as like stuff and whatnot. Oh, how many pixels down did I shift it? I guess it doesn't really matter, but whatever. How many pixels is there at the top here? I'll stop worrying about that because I can figure it out later. Alright, so yeah, so if this is one frame of animation, then like the next frame of animation could be like, so this is blown up, let's say. This is like when the wind has blown this part up. So the next frame of animation will have the, it'll have it blown up but lowered down. So like, so like the wave will have like propagated further down. So like it'll have like rippled out here a little bit, and then so it can start to pull this up actually. So it'll start to be pulling like the tail of it will start to be like pulling up a little bit. And so this will be like kind of downward. This will be like one of the more downward positions of it. And then the next one, it'll be pulling back down, or it'll be like fully deflating. But it'll have like, but the previous gust will have like brought it back out, and it'll be like pointing down like this a little bit. So yeah, so there's a little bit of wind, right? It's not like completely like inert, but like it's only enough to like flap it out like this far, really. And then the last frame animation, actually let's copy this one for the last frame. The last frame animation, it starts to inflate a little bit again up at the top. There's like, whoops, wrong tool. There's a little bit of a gust coming in again, but it's also starting to like whip back on the bottom. It's also starting to wait, hold on a second. No, this should be further down. It's starting to like whip back down again. So it's like kind of sticking out a little bit, but then back down. Whoops, wrong tool. Is that right? Kind of like that. I don't think it's supposed to hit the edge. Actually, I guess it could hit the edge, and I could always just scooch it back if we need more room. But yeah, how's that for like the rough draft of the animation? So like, we should just put it at the same zoom level for consistency. So yeah, what if if it was like, that might be a little too like it seems like there's a little too much of a jump between these two frames, and there's not enough of a jump between these two frames. So that might be okay though. In this one though, it should come down a little bit further. It should come down a little bit further. At least. Alright, I don't know. That could be kind of okay, I guess, for starters. So let's save these. Okay. And I'm not gonna redo the I'm not going to redo the, actually I'm going to shift this over a little bit. I'm not going to redo the script yet. I'm just going to treat it as if this is the none case, and then I'll get it looking good, and then I'll go back and do I'll do that other good stuff later, once we've accomplished this. Alright, so yeah, so this should be roughly centered in this frame here. So let's do that. Oh, so we should be offsetting it by the same amount. So 13 pixels. Yeah, and then do 13 pixels. 13 pixels. Okay. Yeah. And then okay, deselect. So let's see how that looks. I think I have it cheated so that this should come up for the first round. Yeah. So yeah, two of these frames are just not changing very much, like at all. Like there are two frames where the top half of the flag is just like basically the same both times. It's got to be these two, right? Yeah, yeah. It's like, yeah, there's like no difference in those. So it's because it's reinflating a little too extremely. It's reinflating a little bit too much, too soon. So this isn't supposed to come out quite so much like that yet. It's supposed to be. Oh yeah, and there's supposed to be more of a downward ripple here actually. Like a downward curve to how the flag is going, and there can be a little bit. It's kind of hard to convey because like it's supposed to be like rippling up, but just like from the very topmost part, like not so that it's actually like taking much effect yet. It's like it's starting to ripple back upward, but it's still predominantly downward. So like I could do like one of those like sharp fold things again. I don't want it to be like quite as foldy, because like that tends to happen more in like stronger winds. So see if we can't convey this using what we have at our disposal. Maybe I'll make it a little bit shorter, or like, you know, because it's like curving so much that it wouldn't extend quite as far out. So maybe that's how we do it. How'd that look? Again, it doesn't look right between these two, because it looks maybe here this should come up a little bit more. Whoops. Maybe this should come up a little bit more to give it like it's really like it's really like going through a swell right here. Maybe. I don't know. Something like that might be okay. See how it looks at speed. Activate archery. It's still lacking a little bit of nuance, but it's looking okay. Like I think this is still a little too high. Oops, not that much too high. Just like still a little too high, or like this went a little too high. This one, no, I guess that's fine now. This one is a little bit lackluster. Yeah, this one should swell out a little bit more here. Whoops, not eraser. Deselect also. That line is annoying me. Let's swell this out a little bit further here, and then bring it in a little bit here. Is that too much of a jump now? Because I think this was the jump that was like a little too big before, so I might want to make it even further down. That'll make it look a little less severe. If I like push it down here more, so there's still like a big swell, but it's happening a little bit lower. Yeah, that could be good, I guess. Although I need to get the shape better because it's like stretching and deforming in weird ways. Yeah. This I shrunk down too much. I thought by like adding like as much curve to it, I was like making it too long, but like I accidentally made it too short and too mere, so I think that's better. Yeah, I think that's actually pretty good. I think that's getting there. It'd be nice if I had like an actual like animation program, like so I didn't have to like just cram it in the build every time I wanted to see it working. I mean, it's not like it's so hard. I hit the run button and I hit activate archery, and I can see it go. But oh, stupid bow in the way. It looks. I think I could see enough of it that it looked pretty okay. So apparently, yeah, I don't know when it happened, but so the Excelsior button doesn't error check for invalid events. I'm not going to do anything about that now. I just don't want to forget about it, so I'm going to make a note of it. Excelsior button starts events even without. So Excelsior button starts events without action tags or adlib. Conclude event has no apparent effects on archery events. Those are two, like, they might be related, they might be different things, but I'd noticed both of them earlier when I was like tinkering around with the secret panel. Alright, let's look at this Of course, now we're getting all these like outlier low values. We couldn't get those earlier when we were looking for them, but now that we want those, now that those outlier low values are annoying, we get plenty of them. Uh, great. Activate archery. I feel like it could go down a little bit further. It's not like going down far enough. Like on this animation, it could go down further. On these two. Yeah, it's like it doesn't go down far enough and then it whips back up too fast. I think that's part of the problem with the animation. So let's make it go down even further here. Do-do-do. And so I'll probably want to start it going down a little bit further on the previous frame, because otherwise that's going to be a pretty dramatic dip. So we'll want to go. That's pretty dramatic too. So that's probably a little too far. Somewhere between there and the other thing. Oh, and then it shouldn't recover quite as much by this frame. It'd still be a little further down. Yeah, I think that looks better. This one's still crunky in a lot of ways. Why is this one still crunky? Oh, because, well, for one thing, this one shouldn't be... Wait, what is wrong with this one? Is this one too far? This is like what we had before, and so like my gut reaction is to like make this one curl up further, which might be okay, but I'm guessing it'll look weird once I try and animate it as such. Maybe that's fine. No, that's not fine. What is the problem here? It's not going down far enough. No. Wait, no, because actually if it went down that far, then it would look weird in this frame. Would it? No, that might be okay. Maybe not quite this far, but like a little further. Yeah? Maybe that's right. Is that better or worse? Let's find out. So let's rerun the script. And survey says activate archery. That's I swung too far in the other direction. It is getting like a little bit like we're honing in on like what is correct, but like this one got a little too extreme. Like we're not supposed to go quite so down quite so hard. But like we're closer than we were before. So once we fix like this, for example, it might be good. Except let's get these edges a little tidier. Oh right, because this on this one there was actually supposed to be like a little hint of like an upward swell at the top here, which then blooms out into that. So yeah, I think this is roughly good now. We'll see. Well, this could be good. And then of course I have to clean up the edges and stuff. And I didn't even do anything with this inner curve, which I'll probably want to do at least something with the inner curve, like a little bit of something with the inner curve. But yeah, we can catch that later. One more time, once more for good measure. Uh, Activate archery. Archers in position. Uh, so that's like, I don't know, it's really flappy. I almost feel like I might have gone a little too far with it. Like I might want to scale it back a little bit, because like I was saying before, I don't want to make it look like this wind is like too fierce, like too strong. Um, so that wind is definitely stronger. Hold on, I'm gonna cheat it so that it goes 3.0 minus yeah, I'm gonna cheat it so it goes 101, just so I can see the contrast in both directions. So we'll see the slow wind, we'll see the fast wind, then we'll see the slow wind again, just to see how it really compares. So slow wind, yeah, it's gonna go through the full cycle, but it'll go through the full cycle pretty fast. Like it won't actually show the full animations for each of them. So fast wind, out to the side, flopping an awful lot. Yeah, I think I put a little too much flap into this wind. And so I think I just like basically all the curves. I'll just like bring down the curves a little bit. Because it's just too wiggly, too wavy. It looks too animated. It looks like it's conveying a stronger wind than it's supposed to convey. So, all right. Let's tone down that just a little bit. So like this one's not bad necessarily. Although yeah, I'll tone it down a little bit. Yeah, I just was having like just to get the curve right. I was like exaggerating it to to try and like make sure that it was like that the animation was going around the right way. But no, it doesn't need to be quite as extreme as we had it here. And I'll thicken it again in a second. I'm just like right now I'm like reducing the extremeness of it. So that's probably a little bit better. So it still has the same like curves to it. It's just there's not quite as pronounced. Okay. So and here we are. So yeah, so let's just make sure the thickness is good all across. And the length too, I did shorten this frame particularly. So yeah, I think this is about ready for like shaping. So yeah, maybe I'll do the inner curve now too. So yeah, I might have just ruined everything just then when I went over and did that one last pass. So let's just make sure that's not the case, and then I'll do and I'll clean it up for real. Activate archery. Yes, that's fine. Perfect. Beautiful. Actually, the end of it was looking a little bit limp in some of the frames. Which frames? It was like, yeah, when it switches from the downward point to the upward point, it's like it's doing it too abruptly, or not abruptly enough, or no. Yeah, like the difference between this one and this one, or is this one, this one, this one, and this one? Oh, I think it's because it's like, yeah, it's because it's like downward pointed in or it's upward pointed in 3 of the frames. It's only downward pointed in 1 of the frames. That seems a little weird. It's like okay, so what if this one was a little bit more out, less up, a little more out, and then we in this one had a little more not quite fully like flipped up, I guess. Is that better, or did I just make it worse again? Uh, oh no, that's not good. That's not good. Did I just flip this out? This should be flipped down. Uh, wait a second. Yeah, maybe this should just come down further. Hey? Am I ruining everything? I should probably stop trying to get it like perfect, because I didn't bother to get like the other ones like perfect. Hey Segom, how's it going? Welcome. Uh, yeah, no, this is fine. I'm just gonna clean it up now. I spent way too much time trying to get this as mediocre as it is. All right, so yeah, let's go for a slightly smaller brush, just because I'm gonna right. So like when these are inflated, I'm gonna increase the inner curve a little bit, and then when they're deflated, not as much. It's gonna get a little more saggy. Like so, and then yeah, and then it can go back up a little bit. That seems fine. And so now let's get the edges nicely rounded out. And then we can, so I think I'm gonna actually like flip it and then do the shading, because like last time I did the shading and then I flipped it and then I had to erase the shading and then I had to redo the shading. But I think like once I get the shape, like the blank shape good, also the shading is gonna be like different this time around, because like there's the cloth doesn't fold as like dramatically, so actually the shading might be really subtle this time around. We'll see. So actually let's get a little closer in and get the lines a little bit tighter than that. So it's actually, yeah, let's use a slightly bigger brush for this part. And actually no, you know what? No, I don't have to get the lines tighter than that, because he said as he continues to draw the lines tighter than they just were. No, I don't have to, because like I'll be redrawing some of these lines when I do the shading as well. So yeah, no, I'm just gonna. That's actually good enough for now. I'll just get like each of them as good as that, and then like I said, then we'll do the flipping and then we'll do the shading, and so the lines will wiggle a little bit when we go in to do the shading as well, and that's good too, because like then it won't be like carbon copies of like the mirror image between the two frames of animation, and so that'll add for a little more variety, which will be nice. Variety, it is nice. It is the nice of life. Isn't that what they say? So, yeah, I know I just talked about a lot of stuff, and now I'm out of stuff to talk about. I've run out of stuff to talk about. So if anyone has any questions, now is a fantastic time for questions. But then again, all day has been a fantastic time for questions. It's basically questions day. So keep them coming. Hit me with whatever you have got, whatever mysteries of the universe are gnawing at your soul. I don't know if I mentioned this. I know literally all the mysteries of the universe. So, yeah, fun fact. Let me know if you have any mysteries of the universe at all that you'd like to figure out. I can answer any mystery of the universe in 3 words or less. It is but I'm not going to limit myself to just 3 words or less. I'm going to spend any question. I'm going to spend 5 hours answering, because I have nothing else to talk about. No, I have other things to talk about. Why is alpha displayed as those gray and white squares in every drawing program? So the gray squares. I was going to zoom in to look at them closer. The gray squares are named Al, And the white squares are actually named Phoebe, but they call her Fa for short. It's just like a little nickname. And so yes, the word alpha comes from Al and Phoebe, or Fa, her nickname. Uh, and so and so these white and gray squares are an homage to Albert and Phoebe, the patron saints of transparency. Yes. Which AAA studios have I worked at? Also, hi, Java C. How's it going? Um, I worked at Harmonix Music Systems, which is located in uh, Cambridge, Massachusetts. Actually, it used to be located when I worked there. It was located in Cambridge, Massachusetts. I think they moved to Boston. Actually, I don't know if that's true. I actually don't care, but they're located somewhere in that area. And yes, that was the triple. That was that studio had the most A's of any studio that I've ever worked at. It's also the only studio I've ever worked at, but it had all the A's. It had all three A's. They were great A's too, top quality A's, the A'est of the A's. Uh, oh yeah, okay. So I said I was gonna flip this before I start shading it. So let's do that first. Do right, so I'm not going to be able to start the script because I'm going to... Well, actually, no, I can still touch the script. I'm just going to copy this here. I'm going to name this one... so that one we just did was left light. This one is, so right light. Right. And so... Uh, uh, yeah. Well, okay, so I have this copied out so I can flip it later. I have all the pieces that I need in order to flip it. Uh, so Harmonix, the company that made the first-person shooter based on music. Yes, that is never the question I get, but yes, you are totally correct. Yeah, it was called Chroma. Um, deep cuts, man. That is amazing that you recalled that. I've There are like several projects that like Harmonix put out that like were very like niche and like they didn't get like the same mainstream like explosive attention that like some of their other projects got, and that is definitely one of them. That I mean, it kind of like it made a little bit of a splash like when it was first announced, but like it never got like huge, right? So I think that's literally the first time that when I told someone I worked at Harmonix, they were like, "Oh, the place that made Chroma." I think that's the first time that's ever happened. um, one thing I do tend to get though is like when I tell people I worked at Harmonix, they're like, "Oh, I prefer shooters," and so one thing I tend to mention is, "Oh, Harmonix made a shooter," just because people who like shooting games are like it's fine to like a shooting game. But if someone says, I work on music games, and your response is, oh, I prefer shooters, you're dead inside. You've been fragged too many times, and you lost your soul somewhere along the way. I'm sorry to tell you that. No, I like shooters plenty. I guess like you could replace you could flip that the other way around too, and it would be an equally valid point. If someone says, oh, I worked at I can't come up with any names of Infinity Ward. Do they make shooters? They're a place that makes shooters, right? So if someone said like, "Oh, I work at Infinity Ward," and someone responds like, "Oh, I prefer music games," then like the person who's like, "Oh, like the person who can't come up with a single like sensible thing to say in response to, "Oh, I work at like it's like it's great that you like music games, or like it's great that you like shooters. It's like it's great that you have your own opinions, but like no one cares about your own opinions." Not to be abrupt, but it's true. Um, okay, yeah, I was the thing that got roughed up the most when I was like making all those adjustments were the connections, the point at which the flag connects to the pole. So I was thinking like I should like touch that up first. I don't have like the full shading vision in my mind just yet, but I think I'm just gonna start by touching up these a little bit. Just because it doesn't even look like the drape is like connected. It doesn't even look like it's the same piece of fabric when it's just like dangling off like that. And so some of these I'm going to put more shading around here. Some of these I'm going to put less shading around here. But just for starters, just to make it look a little more cohesive and like attached and connected and part of like, yeah. I mean, like I was working on that wiggly pink thing for so long that I, like when I look at it, I was just like, oh, no, this is gonna be fine. It just occurred to me I didn't check for the chroma color on this flag. So hold on, I'm gonna switch my monitor to use the pink chroma key. And okay, yeah. So like what just happened is I switched on the chroma key, and so now you can see like there's this whole pink section of the well, there's this whole black section of the color wheel, which used to be the pink section of the color wheel. I just wanted to make sure I didn't, because if I accidentally pick a color that's inside that blotched section, then it won't show up in SideQuest. It'll turn invisible because that's the color that we have filtered out for the chroma key. Yeah. Okay. Just wanted to make sure. That would have been a little bit disappointing if I had to go, oh my gosh. No, it wouldn't have been that hard to fix. It just would have been awkward to fix. Because I would have either had to like change the hue of the flagpole, or I would have had to like, very carefully select around it. Okay, so what is the actual story of the shading here? So this is one of the places where it's actually going to be like it's going to be not very shaded up around these pieces here. So there's actually going to be like very little in the way of shading there. Here is when the shading comes back. It comes back in force. Not like fully, but like this, like when it starts to deflate and like droop back down again, that's when it like gets more cast in like a greater amount of shadow, and so a little bit more of that will be covered up. And then when it drapes down like this is when there's actually going to be a lot of shading on it. Actually, it drapes down, it like droops down. It's just like it's just laying kind of inert, and so it's just like this part gets like cast in inside the, like behind the shadow of the pole. And then so this is when it starts to perk back up again, and so there's a little bit of shading on it, but actually there's gonna be a little bit of shading, but there's actually gonna be like a patch of like brightness up here, so maybe it'll be like kind of like a little bit lopsided or whatever. Your whole PC just crashed. That sucks. Ugh. That's I think that's like sometimes you'll see me do like just mash like Control S, Control S, Control S, and that's exactly why like computer wide crashes, like I hate them. I haven't gotten in a while, but like I hate them so much that like I save everything all the time. Like if I'm not doing anything else, I'm saving whatever I'm working on, because you just never know. Like, sure, like maybe you'll come back to that program in just a moment, but what if your computer crashes and you don't come back to that program ever? No. All right. So yeah, what is the full story of this shading? So like when it comes down here, I guess like I mean I guess we can like just because the shading isn't as, or just because like the rippling of the flag isn't as extreme, there can still be shaded regions that travel across it, I suppose. So kind of like before, we'll just have this like, of the shaded region that like just kind of like warps across the, actually, yeah, so no, this should be even more pronounced. This should come like all the way down, because this is all just like dropped in shadow here. And, right, so then here, this will all be in shadow. And yeah. And then so then here, so then here it'll have moved even further down to here. This will all be shaded. Actually, no, the shading can come a little higher up than that. Yeah, it's like this will all be shaded. Yeah, kind of like before, just like a less dramatic version of like the same sort of flapping and rippling that we had before. Whoops, I did not mean to change the shape of that. Just meant to put that back down. The part that got bumped it up. Uh, oh, Chroma. Uh, yeah, about that. Um, uh, yeah, about that. I think. Let me think. Um, I think the last I heard, it was getting put. What's the polite way to say on the shelf? It was getting put in a temporary or indeterminate for an indeterminate length of time. It was getting put in a temporary, indeterminate state of not currently getting worked on or developed or released or yeah. I think yeah. Unfortunately, I yeah. So, what was it? It was, I think it was because there was a focus put on other projects. I think it's there was a feeling of urgency on some of the other projects that were very far along and very near their release dates, and those projects just needed attention. And so unfortunately, I think that was partly why there was not as much room to give attention, to give like the real development time that was needed for that project. But so I was like using all these like euphemisms and stuff, but that's not to say that like nothing will ever come of it per se. It's just like the sense that I got, and like I'm not a representative of Harmonix Music Systems. I don't work there, and even when I did work there, I was not in their public relations department. So I can't answer these questions well. I'm happy to try to answer them, but the yeah, I think like basically the gist is that like they there just wasn't there came to a certain point in the project where they just didn't have like more announcements to make, and so who knows, maybe there will be an announcement at some point, but like, and also I haven't worked there in like a whole year, so like even if there was something like cooking, like I would have no clue. So yeah, who knows. Yeah, I just remember that like it was just like yeah, it was around this time last year, or was it 2 years ago? It was like in the winter time, right? It was like late winter, early spring, I think, that like the first like alpha and beta went out, and or the alpha. I think it was an alpha when it got released, and it was just a really busy time, and unfortunately it didn't get the attention that it needed, which is always tough. It was like, I think part of it is because it was like it was a real departure, right? Like all the games that like had been made previously by the same like teams and the same groups of people, like they were very like they were just almost entirely like music oriented, and so like the whole shooting thing, like the whole shooter gameplay was like very different, and it was taking longer maybe to like figure out than like had really been in the schedule at some point. Again, I'm not a representative. I can only speculate as to like I wasn't even on that team. I like guested on that project every now and again. I would like when they needed extra dude people, I would go and be like, "Hey, I'm helping." But I was never like on that team official, so I don't have like the full story there. Just the scuttlebutt, the gist of what I gathered. From other stuff. I mean, hey, like 2 years ago, Harmonix stopped making DLC for Rock Band, and now they're making not only a new Rock Band game, but it's compatible with all the old DLC, and they're making old DLC again, or they're making DLC again, which is now old and new DLC. So never say never, right? Who knows what those crazy game dev cats will think up next, or no, I don't know. Like, business is weird, right? Like that was like one of the things I learned about working at a AAA studio was like the decisions like about what projects to make are largely business driven. Like once you know what project you're making, like then there's like a there's the creative that's like I don't know, like it's like a give and take sort of thing. Like there are projects that like start out with like creative like brilliance that like then become like you know monetarily justified by like their just how freaking great they are. But then like a lot of times like the the business decisions will almost like I don't know. There's like a category of projects that just can't exist without like financial justification because like well like SideQuest for example. Like if I had to like respond to like stakeholders and like business people, there's zero chance I would be working on SideQuest right now. Like you cannot pitch SideQuest to like a person with money and have them come out the other side being like, yes, that should be something to like do, right? Like no, anyone would be like, no, that's a waste of time and money, and you're an idiot person. And how did you get in my office? Like that's what they'd say to you. No, yeah, one thing I was like a little disenfranchised by was like how like if you're running a business, like you have two options. You can either fail and like your business will end and you have to like quit and fire everyone and that sucks, or you have to make just very money focused decisions. And like that was just one thing that like was tough. Like it's not like it's a choice. I mean, those are literally your two options. You can either succeed by making financially smart decisions, or you can fail by failing to do so, by by ignoring those by that aspect of like business. And it's just tough. Like I'm like I don't know. I got into games because I didn't feel like thinking about like stuff like money and like like I don't know. I just like I like to just make stuff, I guess. And so it was that was one of the things that like well, so I mean, the nice thing about working at a studio, like a major studio, is that like I never had to worry about those things. I just talked to the people who cared about money, and the people who cared about money would be like, oh yeah, this or that, and I'd be like, okay, this or that, and then we'd make this or that, or whatever was money smart or whatever. But yeah, this like it's an important part of business, so it's one that cannot be overlooked. Okay, I'm gonna see how this flag looks because I don't know. Unlike the other one, like it's just looking very stripy. But I think it's like stripy and could be okay. I might need to like change the stripes to make them because like yeah, it basically looks like the flag itself is animated and there's just these like dark stripes that are moving down it. But so I might have to change like how those stripes are treated. I might want to add like more curve or like billow to like the what did I do at Harmonix? Art or programming? No, I did not. When I worked at Harmonix, I was one of those people who didn't actually do anything. They just like worked with other people who did things. That was the other problem with not problem, but that was the other reason. That was the other thing that like made my brain itch working at a studio is like I didn't get to do anything. I did literally nothing. All I did was I just talked to people all day. I just went up to people and I was like, hey, and it's fine. I guess like in like a big team situation, like that's what I'm good at. Like that's what is important for me to be doing with my time. It's like what I'm doing right now. Like me talking to the camera is basically me doing like what I used to do, except to myself. Because like all I do all day is I like say this is working, this isn't working. Here's this problem, here's this solution, and like I don't know. That's like the difference is like so instead of like actually making things at the same time, I would just be putting all my energy into coming up with like what is like the what is the like what is what we need in order to, and like I say we in like the context of a team, like what does the team need in order to get from like where the team is to where the team needs to be. And yeah. The toughest part about that for me is that at the end of the day, I would go home and I'd be like, what did I actually do today? And like I'd never have like a thing. Like now right now, like in the past half hour, I have this flag and I can be like, this is a flag that I made today. For example, not that it's a great flag or anything, but like when you don't have that for like 6 whole years, it's like weird, and I missed being able to like actually do things and have them be things. Okay, so let's see what this Ripley stripy flag thing looks like. Uh, okay, yeah, like I was thinking, like the stripe looks a little too like a little too what am I trying to say? Like it looks a little too rigid or like a little too fixed. I think I'm gonna imply a billow to the like okay, so like so let's say this is the flag, right? Instead of just it being like completely straight and flat, I think I'm gonna imply like a little bit of like a curve to it. So like if you looked at it like edge on, it wouldn't just be like straight and flat across. It would be like actually like a little curve to it. And I think like if we imply there's like a little bit of a billow inside the shape of the flag, we can curve some of those lines a little bit so it won't look quite as like samey straight across sort of thing. I think the samey straight across sort of thing made a little more sense when oh, how about like wrinkle? Oh no, that's what we need. We need wrinkle. No, no, no. Yeah, no, no. The samey straight across thing made more sense when the flag was like whipping really fast, because then, because like that was the major motion. Because, yeah, no, because we're not like that anymore. We can just add like wrinkle to it too, right? Because like the flag isn't like fully taut like at all times. Like there's gonna be like a little bit of. Oh, am I gonna be able to animate the wrinkle? Whoops. Am I gonna be able to animate the wrinkle? Okay. Like, how is the wrinkle going to actually like traverse? And like, how's like this wrinkled flag going to uh uh how are like the wrinkles of the flag themselves going to animate? Like how is that going to look? I don't know if I know how to do that exactly. I can give it a shot though. So like what if that was the wrinkle? Then like the wrinkle would have moved down here a little bit more. I can't just like have it like the exact same wrinkle running down the entire thing. Oh, the wrinkles, maybe the wrinkles will translate like laterally or something. So like maybe that wrinkle like moved up here and then there's like a new wrinkle down here. No, that doesn't actually work visually. It just makes the shadow look weird because it like runs off the screen. So what if it's traversing in like in the other way, like if there's like a little bit of no, that's a little no, that doesn't that's not right. Um, uh, no, that's not good. So wait, what is it that we're trying to do? Oh wait, what if it rippled in like the other? What if it rippled in the other way? So like there's a wrinkle. Oh yeah, wait. Actually, wait. So what if undo. Yeah, what if the wrinkle was like otherwise? What if it came across? Like what if it was like uh, should it come like up like this or should it? How would this work? Comes down like uh uh so yeah, there's wrinkles. That might be okay. And then sorry, so then as it comes down, it would come like come across, I guess, like uh it'd be like what would it be like? Yeah, so it'd be like it'd have this billow and then so it could be like a wrinkle like coming up here maybe. Uh I really don't know how cloth folds exactly. Like that's not really anything that I ever needed to really understand or like look into. I was kind of like yeah, no, I mean like there were situations where it would have been helpful to know, but I never actually like bothered to like learn. So here I am not knowing how cloth actually like ripples. I guess actually I'll say that it's probably no. This would be more taut up here. Uh, and yeah, no, I guess it would be. Seems like it would be a little bit wrinkled, like here maybe. Uh, uh, I don't know, something like that maybe. And then like, how does this go? I'm gonna accidentally like trash the silhouette of the flag somehow. No, I don't think this is right. Uh, maybe it would run like more laterally. No, that doesn't make sense. Less laterally? More vertically? uh, I don't know. What did the first wrinkles look like? Yeah, that seemed okay. And then like really went downhill over here. Uh, um, uh, I don't know. I don't know what this is supposed to look like. Uh, I could just like try something and see how it works, and then if it's not the right thing, I can always just try other things, I guess. Whoops, not that. Uh, so, uh, oh wait, sorry. Oh shoot, I missed what Sogama said earlier. I guess you're right, but some big studios could care more about what really is cool than what makes most money. Yeah, no, that's actually definitely true. Sorry, I missed that. Um, yeah, no. So what Sogam said is definitely true. Like some studios care too much, but the studios that don't care at all are the ones that just disappear because they, whoops, ran out of money. Uh, so I don't know. I'll try that. I don't know what that's gonna look like exactly, but maybe it'll be fine. And then here, yeah, here I feel like this is where like there should be like, wait, how does the ripple? Yeah, there should be like much. There should be much like bigger wrinkles in the fabric, like coming up and down, and just generally like the shape of the fabric should be. Actually, yeah, maybe the edge even will come up more as like just a little more disrupted, just like a little less static. So I'm kind of going in like the extreme opposite direction. Like whereas these used to be just like they basically just like straight lines across the fabric. Now they're like completely like all over the place. Like it's like all these like zigzag patterned like ripples in the fabric. But I think they're actually looking okay, kind of like in some ways, like not perfect probably, but like some of it I think is looking all right. So we'll see. I mean, the animation will be like the real proof, or it'll be the make or break sort of situation. We'll see. I'm seriously doing a number on the silhouette. I'm like completely trashing like the shape of this stuff, but whatever. All right, so like, oh wait, yeah, what was this? Oh, this fabric was doing something a little different in the previous frame. So, oh yeah, I should forecast a little more of the rippling that I'm doing in like the next frame. It's like yeah. Actually, wait. Oh yeah. So this should come down more like. Oh yeah. Okay. Maybe this is like the verticality that I was looking for, like trying to not make it like completely either of those things. Like make it. This is awkward. I really need like a smaller brush or just like a better approach to how I'm like doing this. But like, I mean, I'm basically trying to make it like. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how this turns out. Uh, uh, so like at the same time, like not that tool. Whatever that weirdo tool is. I feel like it should be like most shaded up here, but like also like looking from the previous frame, like I don't know, kind of don't feel that way. Also, just feels like maybe it'll just be the smoothest. Maybe yeah, maybe it won't be like the least shaded. It'll be so there'll be a lot of shading here, but it'll be like smoother shading, like less wrinkled sort of thing. I don't know. No, that doesn't really make sense either. Do do do. So, yeah, this says issues, major issues. But wait, what's the last frame? This last frame. So how would this turn into that? This to that. I guess it wouldn't really. So maybe I should I should do more to like put the crease. Oh, maybe that's why it's flatter in the top area. Because if the creases like come more across wise, then that would make more sense as to why it'd be flatter up there. So that's not quite right. But what is it that I'm trying to do here? I don't know, maybe something like that a little bit. And then, so then what does that do here? That would turn to like, that would turn to okay, so it's starting to flush up again over here. So the wrinkles wouldn't extend like as high here. They'd be, where would the wrinkles be here? They'd be like, yeah, I guess they'd be about this height. Just like across here. And like the wrinkles wouldn't be like that extreme because like, you know, it is starting to like get flush with the wind like picking back up again. So it'd just be like, I really need to see like what this looks like because like it might be that I'm like completely on the wrong course. We'll see. And then there'd be, I guess I'll just put like more wrinkles down here for no particular reason. No, this is gonna just look weird and abstract. It's not gonna look right, but whatever. We'll see how it looks, and we can adjust accordingly. Alright, let's see what this looks like. It's probably gonna look like a weird mess, but I should like look up how to actually like render wrinkles in Fabric, because this is not it. Spoilers. But let's see what it looks like. Just for curiosity's sake, let's see what we got going on here. Actually, archery. Yeah, that's not. That's not right. It was kind of interesting. Not good, but interesting. I should probably just go. I think I got a little out of control with it. Like I started like trying to make like way too much stuff going on. So like let's try like a simpler approach for one thing. And all right, wait, I undid all of that. What was so like no, let's go back to a much earlier state because I think I made some like really wrong choices really early on. I should probably just look at reference, right? I mean, that's what I always don't do, that I always should do, right? Oops. Yeah, that was correct. Okay, that was the part where I started adding the wrinkles. Okay. So that one, yeah, undo. See, the undo stack in Paint.net is pretty good. You can undo quite a lot. Alright, save this. Because it definitely looked better before I tried to add the wrinkles in. So, alright, let's look at, so I'm just going to switch over to Facecam real quick, and then I'll just look at, like, flags, like, just video. I'm literally, I'll dictate what I do in case you want to follow along at home. I'm just going to type flags into Google search, I'm going to click video, and then I'm going to click on, like, no, I'm going to type flag wind into Google search, and American flag in the wind is the top result. I'm just going to check this out. Okay. Oh, interesting. Okay, so the wrinkles emanate. I guess I should have seen this coming. The wrinkles emanate from the upper, like the place where it connects to the post at the top, and they come down a diagonal, right? Because like that's where the tension is coming from. Most of the weight of the flag is held by like that top little piece. So like the the wrinkles all like emanate down from there as the fabric is getting like pulled relative to that. So that makes way more sense, and I should probably do that. Okay. Let's do that. Okay. So yeah. So this is silly and doesn't make sense. So let's undo. Oops. Let's wait. I'm in OBS, not Paint.net. Undo that. Undo this. Undo all that. Save that. And then yeah. So the wrinkles were coming from up here. They're like emanating down. So this is actually when the flag is billowing. So there's probably not going to be as many wrinkles like here. But oops. Again. Wrong tool. But then, yeah, I guess if there were wrinkles, they would be emanating from like up here and like coming like down the length of the flag a little bit. And the wrinkles did kind of like traverse the flag too. They moved across the bottom of the flag. Oh, I kind of went a little too far with that one. Actually, I don't know what to do with this like lower light line that I have. Maybe I should just like quit it and like not be cute about that. But yeah, let's try this or something like this. So then yeah, here's definitely where it would be wrinkling a lot more. So what happened to the wrinkles from the previous frame? I guess like I should probably like not like forget about them entirely. So there should be like something going on here. Why is the flag like lumpy right here? I don't know what that's about either. But yeah, so the wrinkles probably wouldn't like just disappear entirely. They would probably just like, they'd be, yeah, that looks kind of okay, I guess. Uh, do, do, do. So yeah, the wrinkles, I guess like those would be kind of like the animated wrinkles from the previous frame, kind of moving like they're traversing like down the flag. And then yeah, this is where there'd be a lot more wrinkles. There'd be like a lot of wrinkles like coming down across here, like from the tension of this post up here. So maybe even like the wrinkle would like kind of like have like a like this stalagmite. Half of the wrinkle would have like a stalactite. Half of the wrinkle, I don't know. I don't know what are the actual terms for like how this wrinkles. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. The wrinkles got tighter at the top. So actually, yeah. So this should actually be, if this one's emanating from the top, it should actually be very tight. It should be like very very narrow like that. Because they got wider towards the base, like tight at the top, wider as they went down, and actually like it actually ripple the bottom of the fabric too is the other thing. I don't know if I'm actually going to do that, but something to think about. I should be using a smaller brush for this too, because I keep like going back and forth and erasing and redrawing and erasing and redrawing the same lines just because I drew them too thick and then I drew them too thin, and yeah. Okay, so this is probably a little bit better, and then I don't know why I keep doing this like lightened bottom line, but I've done it so far, so I'm like, gonna continue with it for no particular reason. All right, so in this one, yeah, this is again gonna be very wrinkly. It's gonna be so I'll just like highlight the highlight. Yeah, so I this one I kind of almost got right before, but not exactly. Oh yeah, and the wrinkles like always go to the bottom half of the flag, like, or at least that's what they. In the one I was seeing, like the place where the wrinkles end, is it like they always they never go lateral really. They always go like from the bottom half of the flag to the upper corner of the flag. So let's do that a little bit. Hey Protospasm, how's it going? What you missed nothing. SideQuest is actually 100% Protospasm driven at this point. It only actually runs when Protospasm is participating. Shh! Don't tell him that that's not true. But no, Protospasm independently cannot prove me wrong. There's actually just an elaborate array of bots that might refute or corroborate the point that I just made. But those are just simulacrum, and are part of the entire experience. In truth, SideQuest itself only runs. Uh, it's actually protoplasm powered. It derives its energy source directly from protoplasm's sense of humor, which scientists speculate is in fact a limitless source of energy. So, um, this is too much wrinklage. This doesn't even look like wrinkles. This just looks like a weird striping pattern that I'm putting in here. So, so yeah, what was the nature of the wrinkles? They would be more pronounced. Well, I don't know. Maybe this is okay because it would get like really ripply sometimes. I was trying to think of like when it did get really ripply, like how were those ripples grouped and stuff. I'm like, I don't know. Maybe this is fine. I'll like leave that for now. And then I guess I'll just like do some. Oh yeah, wait. How did the previous? Yes, there were like some ripples left in the previous frame. So like, let's like not forget about those. Let's like have them just like very subtly down here. So. I really shouldn't be putting in this like lightened lower line here. I'm like fairly confident that that's not how. I'm pretty sure I'm not an expert in flag wrinkles, just for watching like 2 seconds of a video, but I'm pretty sure that's not how flag wrinkles would work. Uh, so again, it's not perfect, but whatever. Good enough for me. Okay, so very wrinkly here. This is where it starts to get unwrinkly. So there's still going to be a lot of wrinkles like coming up here. They're just not going to just not going to pierce this like upper part because like this upper part is like starting to billow now, and so it's starting to like by billowing it's like kind of it's kind of like pressing out all those wrinkles. They like can't wrinkles cannot survive at that altitude. So there's still a lot of wrinkles from like how it's all like flappy and saggy down here, but they're starting to get like pulled out more. And then how's this? Okay, so this is gonna connect back here. So actually, yeah, I'll put a few more wrinkles in here because this is like what we were just putting in down there. Like this is the remnant of that, and so there'll be a little less. There'll be a little bit of like wrinklage left over, but not much anymore. And then it'll yeah. So I think this is probably better. I might want to go back and put some wrinkling in the faster version of the flag animation, but like I think this is pretty good for what we got going on here. This frame still isn't quite right. There's like too much wrinklage. Yeah, I think I'll pull it back even more just to emphasize that this part is starting to like fill up and inflate. And then I guess there should be a little bit of wrinklage going on down here too. It shouldn't be like completely void. Again, like there's hard flat lines like just didn't make any sense, and like it was really obvious. As soon as I put them in there and saw them, I was like, those lines don't make sense. It wasn't clear to me exactly what should have been there instead, but it was like I was like, this isn't gonna look right. Like I can try this, but it is not gonna look right. All right, so I think these if I have these wrinkles down here, they should be following like the same like general like I don't know connectedness like not like connect I don't know. They should be like following the same like grain of like the pattern or whatever. I'll see how this looks. This might be okay. Oh, there should be a little more wrinklage down here. Not that much, but like I don't know, just a little bit. You can just see a little bit on the bottom of the screen here, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe this will look better. We shall see. I think this one is probably still too much. Like some of these are looking like weird exotic birds or something. And I don't know how to feel about that. Yeah, okay, so let's give this another shot. Um, activate archery. So that looks kind of okay. That might be a little too much wrinklage, right? Like it looks a little too. It's a little too like, I don't know. Especially like, let's see in just a second it'll switch back to the old flag pattern, and so I think relative to the old one we'll see that it looks like way too much. Like it looks hyper detailed relative. Yeah, like this one is so plain relatively that yeah, we definitely have too much. So we'll want to drop down. Like I think we're on the right track because like the wrinklage did look okay. Like if we were going for a more detailed like rendering style, then like that would probably actually be like really good. But we're not going that detailed with the rendering, so we should just drop some of the detail out of the wrinklage as well. But like keep the broad strokes, I guess. And it is harder to see. Whoa, what? Did like some icon popped up that said like drag down? I was like, what is that? I don't know what that is. All right, yeah. So just as an example, like well, I'll kick back up to like a slightly thicker brush. And like for some of this stuff, like it should be like a flatter, like simpler version of like the same sort of thing. So maybe I shouldn't have switched to a smaller brush like back when I did. Maybe like that was part of the problem because like yeah, we're just like in these situations where we have like a little bit of like of wrinkling, that's probably good, but like just like not to the same like fine detail that we have going on here. Should be a little bit thicker, a little bit chunkier, a little bit just less detailed in general. Like we can still imply the same sort of texture, just chunkier, like not as like granular, not as like finely detailed sort of thing. So more like this, I guess. Yeah, more like shapes, not like individual like stripes, but more like shapes of like how the wrinkling affects the fabric. I don't have to make it. Right, I'm definitely like tapering it a little too weird, but like I'm making it a little too thick in places. But like I think this is like a better gist. Yeah, this might be good. I don't know. This might not be quite there, but like I think this is like better. Uh, so all right. I need to clean this up a little bit closer up because I just can't get it from this distance. Uh, all right, there we go. That was all. I just couldn't do that from the big brushes and the distance I was using. Oh, and all right, so then smooth. Whoops, not eraser tool. Smooth this out a little bit. Yeah, okay. It's still lumpy. I want this to just be like not lumpy. I just want this to be like relatively smooth. And that's good enough. Okay. Save that. I might even get rid of that one. But yeah, so then here's like a really big example of like way too busy. So let's go up to like brush size 9 and just smooth. Actually, brush size 8 I think is satisfactory. Just like yeah, like a lot of this is like good, and then like some of it is just a little too much. So yeah, that's like, I don't know. Well, let's widen it a little bit more. Yeah, like that's good. Like it's good to have the shape of like those big wrinkles, but like just the level of detail that we had going on there was like way too much. It was like way overkill. So this is better, I think. I mean, we'll see. Proof is when we run it, but I just have a hunch that this is going to be better. Wait, hold on. That wasn't right. I did that because it was convenient, but it wasn't right actually. So I'm gonna use like I'm gonna use a slightly smaller brush to do some of the touch up, but not for like the broad strokes. All right, and then one more. No, I did this one already. All right, so let's try this. Do do do. All right, so this should look roughly the same, except less, 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 less. The texture should be a little bigger. Yeah. All right, this might still be a little too detailed. I might want to drop it down even more. So, uh, or even just like cut down some of the detail levels, just like lose some of the wrinklage. Like I think we have the right idea, but now we can probably we can even like get rid of some of these like stray wrinkles because we have like the right like shape to the general like shading and the way we have these like lines set up. So like some of these are just like not even necessary, I'm guessing. So we just have like like less of that, I guess. Uh, yeah, kind of like that. I think we have like the right idea as like what the fabric's supposed to be doing, and so I mean the nice thing about like having the right idea is that you don't have to spend as much time rendering the idea because like people will naturally like see it. Like if you do the right thing, like if you do the right sort of like if you send wrinkles in the wrong direction, in order to get people to recognize that they're supposed to be wrinkles, you have to like really render them very clearly. But if you put wrinkles in the correct direction, like all you have to do is like give the impression of wrinkles, and then people will be like, "Oh yeah, wrinkles," right? And like I don't know, it's funny how like what we perceive like really easily and automatically like on site, like it's not always like conceptually like simplistic. So like sometimes to I maybe it should have been like super obvious and clear to me that like the wrinkles would be emanating from like the upper corner or whatever, but like it just wasn't there in my brain like when I tried to like put my hand to paper to or put my stylus to the tablet in order to get that rendered. And so uh, uh, sorry, I just made a bug friend. He's just hanging out on my green screen now. uh, he looks fine. He doesn't look dangerous. He looks like a mosquito, kind of. I might ask him to leave soon. Um, all right. Wait, what am I doing here? Yeah, I guess something more like that. Actually, we probably don't even need that much wrinklage going on down here. Maybe like a little bit more demure. Maybe just like one wrinkly, pointy piece. Uh, yeah. Oh, my bug friend's leaving. Bye, bug friend. Bye bye. Alright. So this one still looks a little bit like I don't know. I feel like I'm still not getting the lines here quite right. Oh, you know what it is? They're not. Yeah, they're not like pointing towards the upper corner anymore. I think that's what I messed up. When I simplified them, I simplified them in the wrong like direction. So right, so they're still supposed to be pointing towards the upper corner. That is an important part. And like yeah, so some of these were like kind of curvy to like show the drape of the fabric, but then yeah, they are still supposed to point towards the upper corner. That's the rule. Them's the rules. Okay. So that should be yeah. That should be better. Oh, this part's down here is still a mess. It just doesn't need to be this wrinkly down here, I think. No, maybe that's fine. But I definitely have to clean up this lower line, because, like, what the heck is this lower line doing? Is it, like, is there supposed to be the lower lightened edge? I mean, I guess so, but then, like, I'm not rendering it very well down here, so let's tidy that up a bit. Okay. Okay. So yeah, let's try this then. It doesn't look necessarily simpler in every way, but it does fit the criteria that we came up with based on what we saw in like the previous versions of this. So, activate archery. Yeah, that might be okay. Uh, yeah, there might still be a little too much. Like I might want to dial it back a little bit more. Just like with the length, like some of them like stretch out too far. It feels like they, like it. Whereas like with the other one, like it feels very like, you know, well, like someone earlier was saying like cell shading as like as like a touchstone for like, you know, how we kind of have like the two tones going on. It looked a little less like cell shading and a little more like a little more I don't know, like textural or like gradient. Like it was like trying to approximate a gradient with like just two colors, which is like where I've gotten into trouble before. So I'm very ready to dial it back if I catch myself going in that direction, which I kind of have. All right, so once again, very simple shapes. None of these like long poles; those are unnecessary because those don't help convey the shape. Um, just very yeah, just the shape of the fabric. That's all. Just the shape of the folds of the fabric, which always point towards the upper corner. That's the important part. The important part is pointing towards the upper corner. Okay. All right. So now I think we're hitting those criteria. That one seems fine. This one's probably fine. No, I want to separate these 2 points a little bit further. So I'm going to put them a little further apart. So that way, because like these are supposed to be like tight wrinkles, but they're supposed to be like tall, and I can't make them really very tall when they're crunched up next to each other. So yeah, more like that. Okay. So save that, save that, save that, save that, save that. Actually, this one, I don't think this is right here. I think this is not. Like, if there was a wrinkle here, I think it would be hold more like this. And maybe it's actually just that there wouldn't even be a wrinkle here. Either way, I'm gonna go with that instead. And I might take it out. Who knows? Okay. Wait, where is this? This one's just kind of like pointing off into nowhere. Oh, I think I see what I was trying to do there. I think I was like trying to make it like follow the curve of the fabric a little bit, but no, it wasn't really translating. So all right, let's call this like good, I guess. So let's rerun the script, and I should just get in the habit of like once I run the script and get what I need out of it, I should just get in the habit of like closing the script, like literally. Okay, now we get to do the same thing facing in the other direction. That'll be fun. Alright, so that's where it's like fully out to the side, and then let's just look at one more time when it's like flapping down to the side. Because I might want to dial it back even further. We'll see. I should just put them next to each other. No, that's good. I think that's good. I think the wrinkles help. I think like the wrinkles help convey the fact that it's not like fully, it's not like fully flapping out to the side. It like, it's down at that angle, and so it's gonna be wrinkly, super wrinkly all day. So I think that's good actually. Okay, so let's start working on the other half. So I'll just close these for now. Yeah. Actually, I probably should. You know what? Now that I think about it, I should probably actually leave that open because just cause. What is this? This is. Oh, this is like what we started from. For what? No, what is this? I forget what this is. Whatever it is, I'm going to harvest it. I'm going to cut off the flag part. And I'm going to Control-Shift-Save, flag, right. Yeah, I guess I'll keep these. All right, let's let's file open flag right light, open these, and then flip the image, flip horizontal, flip horizontal, flip horizontal, flip horizontal, and then right, because we messed up the shading on the stick, but this stick has the correct shading. So actually, yeah, let's undo. Let's do like the opposite. So let's do like okay, copy this, paste here, or like wait, paste it so it lines up, which is kind of hard to tell exactly how it lines up, but that's close enough. So just paste it. Wait, where's the top? Top is like at this height here. All right, so like that, I guess. Yes, perfect. We'll clean that up. Let's copy, paste. Oh yeah, that's the other thing is we need to change the dimension of this image because it's not supposed to. Yeah, there's supposed to be a bigger buffer here. So this has got to be. Don't save. File open flag right. Yeah, so it must have been one of these images. And so let's count the pixel distance from this edge of the screen because I think we want to keep the same pixel distance basically. The same? No, I guess it doesn't have to be the same. But it should be like similar. So actually no, it should be yeah, it should be similar, but like it should be offset by like 23 or so. So it should be, yeah, it should be pretty far over. So 23 plus so I'll just add like 60. I'll just add like 60 pixels to the side. So just or image canvas size 250 will go to oh no, wait, this is the value that we had before. 311 or something. Wait, yeah, actually, wait, what was the width of this image? 396. Oh, yeah. So whatever. We'll just go to image canvas size like 311 is fine, I guess. Oh, wrong side. Image canvas size. Clamp to this side. Go to 311 and we can just delete all this business over here and save that. I'm saving this in the correct place, I hope. Image canvas size 311. Get rid of this. And image canvas size 311. And one more, image canvas size 311. Yeah. Alright, so save that. Okay. The time is 6:08 and I've been streaming for 7 hours and 58 minutes. In case anyone was curious. In case anyone was so interested to find out exactly how long I've been streaming for and what time it is in my local time zone. Well, now you know. And knowing is half the battle. Alright, so let's fix this this bottom part of the stick for one thing. And then let's transfer this over to the other ones. Copy, paste, paste, paste. Alright, save, save, save. Yeah, so the thing that occurred to me is that I kind of actually want those other images open for reference purposes. I don't need these open anymore. I can save that or don't save it, I don't care. I'll need to like return to this stuff eventually, eventually, but I don't need it for right now. So Yeah, let's Sorry, earlier I was talking about how SideQuest is crazy, and like only a crazy person would work on it. Which I know in like in the back of my mind, I know that's like a kind of a true thing. I just when I think about it, it it bubbles to the forefront of my mind, and